Well, I think the timing of England getting into the European Championship final is good in the sense that there was scenes of normality at Wembley, and there's been quite a lot of concern that the Prime Minister is rushing the roadmap. There's this degree of fear and caution, and I think the football, or at least those scenes in Wembley, demonstrate that people can get together and there can be a semblance of normality again. And that should be quite reassuring to the public at a time when there is criticism of Johnson and the fact that he may be rushing his return to normal against some of the grain of the evidence.
Let me set out today our 5-point plan for living with COVID.
I suppose Boris Johnson probably thought that when he announced that he was lifting the restrictions, the whole country would respond positively because we've all been in this hell for 18 months and want to get back to normal. And actually the reaction has been pretty mixed. First of all, there are people who feel that some of the restrictions should continue in the face of scientific evidence suggesting that infections and cases are going up. And secondly, there's been a lot of criticism as to the delay with this lifting of self-isolation for the double jabbed. So August the 16th, people are looking at that and saying, well, hang on, that's well into the summer holidays. You know, we want to make plans now. Why can't you rush things? So I suppose Boris Johnson finds himself in a situation where he's between the devil and the deep blue sea. But the one thing that is uniting people is the football. And the thing about Boris Johnson as well is when he puts on the football jersey over his shirt, as he did at Wembley last night, you can criticise him for many, many, many things, but I think most people would have to agree that the man is a patriot and certainly the kind of guy who would support his country. And so therefore he's quite a credible figure when it comes to kind of being behind this sporting morale boosting thing that is the football. And even those who don't like the football and are completely bored by it can obviously buy into this sense that if England triumph on Sunday, then maybe it does undo half a century of hurt and help us through what has been a really difficult time with the pandemic. So Boris Johnson is probably the most credible political figure when it comes to kind of nailing his colours to the footballing mast. You know, Sir Keir Starmer, yeah, I suppose he can claim to be a patriot, but everyone will remember Emily Thornberry, the former Shadow Home Secretary, sneering at George's crosses outside people's houses. You know, the left's reaction to the football's been interesting. You know, some hardcore left elements sneering at the degree of flag waving and patriotism. Well, that's the antithesis of what Boris Johnson stands for. And equally, the majority are wanting to celebrate. You know, they want to be a part of something that is positive for once, and I think Boris Johnson can tap into that politically. We only have to look back at Boris Johnson during the Olympics in 2012, and actually he got a huge amount of cachet from his involvement in that as London Mayor, and it was almost as if his mayoralty was boosted by Team GB's performance. So I think equally you can apply it. I mean, it's not to overstate it. Sport's sport and politics is politics, but if it gives the country a bounce, then of course the person who's running the country gets some benefit from it too.